Because it's that time of year. Hello there, darlings. Hey, Cagnistas. It's Marisha. This is too tight. It's taking my blood pressure, not just my pulse. Today, I am back with another cake tale. I have my teapot, I have my tea, and this is really good tea because I added a little bit of a Kanto monk fruit sweetener. Green tea with mango, and it's by Bigelow. That's how I say it. And it has lemon juice and ginger in there because I was like having throat issues. I thought I added enough Lakanto to cut that lemon, but I didn't. Wow. Damn. If you saw what happened last time, you would know why I'm not going to put my cup right there. I also have a snack because I'm hungry. A bag full of nuts and dried fruit. This is how I watch my own cake tales. So this is actually a really good story. I want to start off by saying most of these cake tales are taking place when I really started getting myself out there. So of course a lot of things were going to happen. I was gonna bump into a lot of situations that are normal when you're just getting started, and I don't want anybody to be sorry that I went through these situations, because if I hadn't gone through them I wouldn't have learned and known better. And my whole point is to let a lot of you guys know that what happened to you happened to me also, and it's probably happening to everybody. More than likely it is. I've learned from all of them. I'm better because of it. It had to happen. Some of them were crazy, but I'm here. Still, I'm alive. This cake tale takes place about 2 weeks after the cake tale where I ruined her wedding cake and her wedding day. So this was my first wedding cake after that disaster. Okay, so if you haven't watched that video, I would recommend doing so, just so that you get a sense of how big this was for me. Okay, we have that in mind. Jacked up her wedding cake, ruined it. I had a really nice lady reach out to me, and she found me online and she just wanted to do a tasting. And I was like, okay, that's great, let's do a tasting. When she wrote me, we got on the phone, and she said, she initially asked for my menu. I showed her the menu, and then she's like, now what I want is an Italian wedding cake with mascarpone, whipped cream filling, and Madagascar bourbon vanilla frosting. Well, it was really nice meeting you. So she was very specific, and I was like, oh my gosh. Now I'm Googling Italian wedding cake. I don't even know that Italians have their own wedding cakes. I'm finding all of these recipes. They have pecans and coconut and pineapple and all types of funky flavors going on in there. And I said, yeah, wow, okay. What I'm gonna do is I'm going to make my base cake, my cake. And I'm gonna throw in those ingredients that are important, the nuts, the fruit, because those recipes, first off, they were all different. I didn't know which one was the most authentic because they were clearly Italian. I told her that I would meet her and her fiance at the Liberty Place in Philly. I love the Liberty Place. She was with her fiance sitting in a nice little cafe table. They came over and I stood up, hello, nice to see you, nice to meet you. No, I didn't sound like that, but close, but close. She was so sweet. So we sat down. First off, she was literally the opposite of the previous bride. The previous bride, when we met, she's like, so what should I do for my wedding? I don't know what to do. And just eating the cupcakes. Do you have any ideas? And I'm like, this lady, oh please, she has sketches. She had a folder. She drew it out. She wanted an old Hollywood glamour theme. She had feathers on the top. I still have the folder. She gave me one of her invitations. This was the invitation. She gave me one of her invitations. I think I got chocolate on the back of the invitation. That's typical. She wanted a wedding cake and a groom's cake. The Grimm's cake, he wanted chocolate sheet cake with salted caramel with his name, A, on the cake. We're talking, we're laughing, we're giggling, we're talking about how they met and all that cute stuff. And then so she's like, all right, now let's try these cupcakes. And I'm like, okay. I think they tried my chocolate, and then I made them a salted caramel with the chocolate cupcake. And maybe a couple others like the strawberry shortcake or something like that. And then that Italian cake. We did a vanilla frosting, my typical vanilla frosting for the cupcakes. We didn't do the special stuff. That was gonna be for like when she actually paid for the wedding cake. Now mind you, we're in Philly, okay? So if you know Philadelphia, you know that it's very sectioned into different ethnicities. Puerto Ricans are in North Philly, Italians are in certain parts of South Philly, you got the Irish people in South Philly. They tell me that they've been to every Italian bakery in South Philly and Long Island. These are just Italians with a bakery. These are Italian bakeries that have literally been around since like your great grandparents were here. They came from Italy, went to South Philly, opened up a bakery, and now they're still in business, and they're some of the most famous, you know, bakeries in America. So they're telling me this and I'm like, great. Like now they're sitting with the black girl who just made these up with her own cake recipe and threw the ingredients in there and said, look, this tastes good to me. I'm not even looking at them as they're tasting it. I felt like I was on one of those television shows, and I'm like, great, girl, I'll just chop it up. We had a good day. We got to come to the Liberty Place. I glanced back at them to see how through they are with that cupcake, and they're kind of just sitting there like this. And she looks at him, she's like, I think I know. What do you think? He was like, yeah, I think I know too. What about you? Yeah, I think we're on the same page here. It was so intense. Like, why was it so intense, Marisha? We've been to every Italian bakery, as we told you. This is the best Italian wedding cake we've had. This is the most authentic Italian wedding cake we had. I felt like I won. I was like, what? It isn't really? They were like, yes, this is better than. Then they started naming. I need to up my prices. Like, whoa, you mean to tell me this is better? The one black person that you went to who's never made an Italian cake before in her life. What it was that it reminded them of grandma's cake. I think everybody else was focused on that wedding cake that's kind of like light and fluffy. Mine wasn't light and fluffy, but it wasn't dense. It was more like birthday cake because I just used the same recipe for all my cakes, and then I just jazzed it up a little bit. And they were like, this is Italian wedding cake. It's rich. It's got all that flavor. This is gonna be amazing with that mascarpone and that bourbon vanilla. We definitely want you. We want you. We want you. So I was like, great, let's do this. You know, so we went in head first. So she's like, I'm gonna give you these, all of her sketches. I was like, okay, great. Right before this, I had that cake disaster, that whole cake wreck. So for this, I went online. I found like a $25 system to hold this cake up, and you can actually see it in that video. It's thick plastic cake plates that go into each tier. The dowels, you have to saw them off, and then they push and like lock. There, you could stand on those and you'll be okay. You can't put a dowel through the whole cake, but you don't really have to worry about it because it's so stable and secure. It's so great. So what I did to make sure that it wasn't gonna fall, I stacked it up at home and I sat it out for about 2 hours, and I walked past it. I did my, hey, you look good over there, girl. And then we made our way. To New Jersey. And okay, so we get there. It's this gorgeous hotel. And like we're trying to figure out where to go and who to talk to. And we're kind of just like lounging around because we had time. I didn't have to worry about fixing anything. One of the tiers was a rough ice. The top tier had rosettes. It was so pretty. And then the bottom tier was like ruffles, I think. And she had all of her toppers, which was amazing. She's like, I just bought some pins from the jewelry store. I want those adorned on the cake. She got the rhinestone border for me. It was the best experience ever. I actually made a vlog about it. That was my first vlog on this channel. It's the old Hollywood vlog that I did in New Jersey. Got some of the toppers here. They're gonna have feathers. I've got the brooch and the rhinestone border. Just like the whole cake setup. It was a really good experience, and the only tough part was that people, when they get what they want, they stop worrying about what you need. And I needed my last payment, and I told her, "Hi, yeah, I can't leave before I get paid." And she's like, "Oh, okay, Marisha, I'm just getting my hair done. I'll be out shortly. Like, I could PayPal you just in a minute." So I'm literally sitting there waiting for this PayPal transaction, and I'm waiting for like an hour and a half. And I'm like, okay. I'm sitting there looking like I'm part of the party now, like, and she's like, "Oh, I'm coming to pay you. Are you still there?" "Yeah, I'm still here. I'm here and I'm waiting." It took forever, and I was just like, see, why I have to figure out something where they pay me before I even set up. So that's something else that I had to learn from that situation. Great experience overall, but I don't want to sit there in anxiety wondering if you're gonna like take off with the money and the cake. So I was just sitting there waiting for a long time. They didn't offer me water, beverage. "You need something to drink?" "No thanks, I just need my money. Thanks so much." I walked around that whole hotel. I could tell you their whole layout. It was a really nice hotel. It was on the beach, I think. It was really cute. So anyway, so that's that cake tale. I actually had a good one, positive cake tale. I have a lot more positive cake tales that I'll share with you guys. But for now, subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already, and let me know what you want to see next, okay? Bye, Cake Nistas.